Hey, Las Vegas, thanks for joining us back here on Vegas Realty Check, your local Las Vegas real estate news show. I'm Trish Williams.
And I'm Tiana Carroll. And today we have a special guest with us. We're going to talk everything insurance. This gentleman has been in insurance for 25 years. He started out in California. He moved to Alaska, was there for over a decade, and he settled here in the Valley around 2020. And right now he is on the board of directors for the Armed Services YMCA, helping military families cope with the stress of military life. So we are so pleased to have Timothy Mosley here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming over to our show, and we are so excited to talk about insurance today.
Yes.
Insurance is definitely quite a factor in our business.
Yeah,
so.
If you own a home, having insurance is definitely a plus.
Yes, so we're excited to talk about that. But before we get started, let's talk about what's going on this week in inventory.
This week in inventory. So every week we cover the numbers, Timothy, so that our listeners get to keep apprised on what's happening in the market. We have 3,598 active homes for sale in the Valley right now.
Right, and last week I thought that we were hitting a slowdown because last week was weird and slow. Even the week before last week, it was really slow, really weird, and we seen inventory spike quite a bit.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden this week, mortgage applications are up again, people are shopping again, so
I was thinking like, oh, we're heading into a lull.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah.
But you know what? For the past few weeks, like if you go back and look, there's always been a spike somewhere. Like, oh, this week we had extra sales, and this week we have a new sold listings. We're only 403, so it was down from last week. But the price decreases are up this week.
Yes. And rates, well, the price decreases are probably up to get moving from the higher inventory last week.
Yep.
And rates have actually come down slightly, nothing to get excited about.
Yeah, nothing worth mentioning.
But a little bit better. They're a little bit better this week. And our sold numbers, we had 403 sold.
Yep.
We're not quite at the end of the month yet, so next week we should see those numbers a little bit higher.
Yeah, at the end. And just going back to that 445, that was over the last 7 days that those were decreased. I did get a little nosy and dive into that, and already 40 of those price decreases have gone under contract. So
adjusting your price does help move your property.
It could definitely help.
Yep. So I didn't see much major news. Like I said, a small decrease in rates, which has prompted some more mortgage applications. Mortgage applications are up for the highest number in the last 6 months. And
it's such a great indicator. Once those applications start to get filled out, then people are like, oh, okay, I'm considering buying. Let's see what's out there.
Yeah, those are people that are getting into the market, starting shopping. So that's great news. That's very promising. And Henderson, Nevada was rated the third safest city in the United States.
They've always had pretty good ratings, though.
Yeah. And I wonder...
I bet that helps insurance premiums, right,
Timothy?
I know. I was thinking that leads us right into what we're talking about today. But I was wondering, I was thinking about that. I was like, Henderson, because Summerlin's always been a very popular area. Summerlin and Henderson, I would say, are rivals.
Well, except for Summerlin's not really a city.
Exactly. That's what I was going into. Summerlin is in Las Vegas, so they kind of get lumped in with everything in Las Vegas. So
right.
They do not have the benefit of being their own city like Henderson does, so that gets Henderson.
But I bet you there's a majority of Summerlinians who wish that they could just have it. Can we just be a city? Can we just be our own city, please?
They probably will sometime in the future figure out a way to make it their own city, I'm sure. But for now, Henderson, third safest city, reported by the Review Journal, third safest city in the United States. So that was pretty awesome. Go Henderson.
Yeah, go Henderson.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
And Henderson's growing so quickly.
I know.
Our office isn't far from Henderson. We're down in Eastern and Windmill, and we're seeing so many new people, especially from Californians.
Have you seen all the digging they're doing in Black Mountain? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, they're carving it up.
And is that not a volcano?
I don't know.
Wait, are you asking us about geography?
I don't. I've always I've heard this since I was a child. Just always called it fact. I guess I should fact check that. If you guys know the answer, fact check, please let me know.
Fact check. Put it in the comments.
I will be looking this up.
Oh,
after.
we actually have some subscribers who are kind of pretty awesome that go through and like fact check, and they'll be like, "Oh, that was right, Tiana. I thought that was wrong." And they send texts and emails and stuff. So we love you guys.
Thank you. But yes, check it out. Let me know. But yes, Black Mountain. I was always under the understanding the reason why it was black is that was from the
like volcanic ash.
Yeah, and it's an inactive volcano.
Wow.
So I don't know if this is correct or not, or one of those old Vegas rumors. So we will find out.
I thought
do
the only
have a
thing
lot
that
of
blew
lore.
up in Henderson was that old chemical factory
what was
in
that,
the
Pepcon?
80s.
Pepcon. Yeah, I remember that. The roofs came off buildings.
Maybe that's where you got the rumor in the 80s when it blew. It was like it was the volcano on Black Mountain. It was Pepcon, and now it's
Well, there are volcanoes in Vegas. There are a few under Lake Mead, so that's why I never thought that wasn't true. So yeah, we will see. We will look that up after the show. So Timothy,
Hey, going back to you said that Henderson was growing so much. You want a fact that'll blow your mind? There are over 5,000 people a month who move into the valley. Henderson,
I'm not
Las Vegas.
surprised. I'm not
5,000
surprised.
people a month. That's how come every like weird piece of land you see off of a freeway exit is being erected into some sort of apartment complex because we need housing.
And it keeps going further and further out.
Yep. Yep.
yeah, we are.
And now we're learning to go up.
Yeah.
They're going up the mountain. They're going up in wanting to do more skyscraper and condo type living here.
Yeah, Vegas has certainly grown since I was a child. So, with all of the growth, with all of the things happening, and with all of these, I guess, catastrophes and natural disasters that we've seen, insurance rates are also growing.
Yes, across the board.
Across the board. So, what's going on right there with insurance rates?
Well, it really, if we dial it back a couple of years to COVID, we all stayed in our homes and the miles driven went down way, way low. And the insurance companies responded by lowering everybody's rates because the amount of unemployment was so high, the demand was so low that they could afford it, okay? And then after we got out of the pandemic, the miles driven started going up dramatically. And especially in this town, we've had so much demand for tourism, especially when the Asian market was still closed, the European market was still closed. So Vegas was just hammered with new tourism dollars coming in. And a lot of folks who don't know our roads, don't know the traffic patterns, especially with 24-hour drinking in this town, we have seen just huge spikes of claims. And most of that is driven by auto insurance, right? But from the home side, just from the wildfires that we've had in the West, in California, in Arizona, in Utah, we've seen literally billions of dollars of claims coming in. And then you add on top of that the real struggle with supply chain issues. So a lot of folks thought that was just something that was invented during COVID. You saw those pictures of LA Harbor with 35 cargo ships waiting to be unloaded, and they were kind of manufacturing this issue of supply chain. But if you go in and you have a problem with your home today, the average length of time to close a claim has increased 5 days since 2021. It doesn't sound like a lot, but we can't get our hands on air conditioning units. We can't get our hands on windows. We can't get our hands on special order items that are adding to the length of time it takes to rectify a claim. It takes a long time to get that claim closed out, and the cost of that claim has gone up nearly 50% in the last 3 years.
Yeah. And what happens when the cost of the claim goes up is the cost of your premiums will go up.
And what happens with the insurance companies is you start compounding this. You're having multiple issues with claims coming in, It's starting to compress the market where a lot of folks come into my office and view insurance as a commodity. You know, we're the same as this company is the same as this company, homeowners insurance is homeowners insurance is homeowners insurance.
Which is so not true.
Which is so not true. Right?
That is so not true.
Yes.
You can be under the same company and have a completely different policy than somebody else.
And
Yeah.
what we're trying to tell our customers, try to educate the public is, especially now in what we consider to be a hard market, you have to look at insurance as a asset of yours. It's nothing different than having money in your bank. If you have a preferred insurance company who's willing to insure your home, it has to be viewed as an asset. You can't just pick up the phone and say, I need to save $50, so I'm going to call a different insurance company. That was the mindset previous to COVID, that you can just go anywhere, everyone's willing to write your insurance. What we're finding now is, especially with closing of escrows, of homes that are older, homes that have had previous claims, homes that maybe have a bad roof, homes that have had water damage, it's getting to the point where you might not find insurance unless going into like a secondary market, what we term as excess and surplus markets. And then you've gotten huge sticker shock.
Yeah.
We're seeing homeowners quotes in excess of $10,000 a year
Wow.
for coverage because nobody else will pick them up.
Wow. And that can be substantial on your payment. So if you're doing financing, and this is a common question, so I guess this is good for awareness, right? You have a 30-year fixed mortgage. So your payment, your understanding is that it'll never increase. However, property taxes or homeowners insurance are part of that payment through your escrow impounds. Those are part of your breakdown that makes your monthly payment every month. So if those rates of property taxes or homeowners insurance go up, your payment actually can increase. Has nothing to do with your mortgage, your interest rate, or anything like that. It can be based off of that. So that is an important factor. It can affect your monthly payment.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes. And one of the things that we were talking about before the show is homeowners insurance is not a maintenance plan.
Okay, so it's not a maintenance plan, right?
Yes.
That as a homeowner, you have got to do the maintenance on your home and keep everything in good working condition.
Right.
It's not just call them in and say, fix this for me. That's a home warranty.
Right, that's a home warranty. Yeah, those are different things. But also, I mean, it's not intended for you to use for small occurrences, small events.
Yes.
Because those things, by doing multiple claims, will actually raise your premiums, and you'll be paying for that in the future, rather than taking care of the expense, a small expense of something that you could repair now without filing the claim through the insurance, correct?
Yeah, so homeowners insurance is more catastrophic in nature. Whereas auto insurance, the deductibles are so low that folks have been conditioned that if I got damage to my bumper or I've got a broken windshield, I'm going to contact the insurance company and have them fix my car. Homes are not meant to be that way. The home insurance pricing model is based on catastrophe. So many insurance companies raise the deductibles on home insurance because they want it to be a catastrophic loss. They want it to be something that is a fire that takes down your home. If you make claims, say, on a water heater, and a water heater, we have it all the time. Water heaters, if they're older than 7 years old, we see them, blow up and flood the first floor of the home. And it causes somewhere between $2,000 and $4,000 of damage, okay? The homeowner's first knee-jerk reaction is call my insurance company, get them to clean it all up.
Yeah.
What we're trying to advise our customers is be smart about that, because as a homeowner, you have a responsibility to maintain your home. Yeah. And if you have a water heater that causes $2,000 or $3,000 of damage, you're probably better off as a consumer to take that damage and fix it yourself, because claims stay on your consumer report anywhere between 3 and 5 years.
And that's whether they are paid out or not, correct?
That's correct. It could show
Yeah.
0 and it still shows as a claim.
Right. So if you have a $5,000 deductible, then go ahead and do that water heater and stuff on your own. Don't make the claim because they're not going to pay you for it because it's less than your deductible, and it's going to go on your
And it's going to be on
insurance
your record. Yeah.
Is there an insurance record?
And we do, just the way society is right now, and just all the things and everything you see just out there everywhere, we tend to panic every time we see water, right? And panic.
We're in the
call
desert. We're like, oh no, what is this?
What happened? And the thing about water damage, water events, is if you clean it up immediately, it will be okay. It can dry out. We are in the desert. It will dry.
Yes.
As long as you get it clean. But if you do not take care of that water immediately, then you're going to have an issue. Have an issue that can turn very badly.
Right, and that's not just for a water heater exploding, get that water up. That is a minimal leak under your secondary bathroom sink. That constant drip. Yeah.
Some of the most complicated claims we see are water damage. And what we try to educate our customers is, as a homeowner, you have responsibilities on your homeowner's insurance policy that you will maintain your home. So what we try to do is tell our customers, have your plumbing inspected every 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
Have a plumbing company come out with a thermographic camera. They take pictures of your pipes within the walls. You keep that certificate, and if you do have a break, then you can show the adjuster that I am doing what I'm supposed to be doing as a homeowner. I'm maintaining my home. That way you can get hopefully around these wear and tear exclusions. You can't just go to a company and say, I got a water damage problem. My pipes are 25 years old in my home. I've never maintained them. I've never had them inspected. And now I'm expecting the insurance company to pay everything. They're very likely to come back and say, well, there is a clause in the insurance policy that says it's wear and tear, just like a car. If you have wear and tear issues on your car and you don't maintain your car, how can you expect anybody to fix it for free?
Absolutely. And when it comes to like insurance and maintenance on your home, it's that there are things that can cover that, such as like home warranties and other plans. And you mentioned the water leak, checking for water leaks and having that inspected every couple of years. There is a new thing out there. I think it's Moen. And there's a new device.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen the commercial.
In the new
on it.
homes,
Yeah.
they have them in the new in some new homes now.
Sensor?
Yeah, you can put it on your main line. Have a plumber do it, licensed plumber.
We love licensed plumber.
Licensed plumber.
That's the advice we're giving.
Yes, you can put it on your main line in the home, and it will actually notify you if it detects any variances in
really
the
cool.
water through the house, so leaks and everything like that. So that is brilliant.
Yes.
That is brilliant.
Well,
that can save you so much money.
Our smart homes are just getting smarter and smarter. It's not just connectivity to the world, right? Now it's actually maintaining the integrity of the home.
Yeah, so things like that are definitely, just whatever preventive steps.
Hey, do we get a discount on our insurance if we get one of those?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, I was
that
going to
true?
mention we have a device that we give to many of our customers for free. And it just plugs into your power outlet, and it monitors your electrical connectivity in the home. Our second leading...
I want one.
I want one too, Timothy.
You didn't bring us one?
I'll be happy to bring one. Our second leading cause of claims outside of water is electrical fires. And so, especially in older homes, when we're talking about areas, maybe in downtown or on the west side, homes that are 30, 40, even 50 years old in this town, we have electrical fires. And so all you have to do is plug this device into your electrical outlet, and it connects to your app on your phone, and you literally are monitoring your electricity in your home. And if it detects a hot spot, you can actually shut down your home and not have that fire.
Yeah, go to the
That's
breaker
crazy.
box. That's
So we're just trying to get a
amazing.
little smarter
Yeah,
about
I want
being
one.
preventative about this.
Yeah. Because
Yeah.
having an electrical fire is no fun. I had one in, was it 21 or 22?
Oh.
Yeah. I heard something on my window, and I went outside, and the neighbor had the hose and was like shooting it on my roof. I'm like, can I help you? He's like, yeah, just trying to put out your fire. I was like, oh, because there had been a wire that had been ungrounded from the street, and it was searching for somewhere to, I guess, land, and they had cut down on the, because I was at a rental at a time between houses, and they had cut down a satellite dish.
Oh.
And so it found that empty space to go fill that was ungrounded, and the roof caught on fire. Luckily, knock on wood, nothing terrible happened to anybody or any animals or anything. But yeah, that was shocking.
It is.
And I want to shout out to the firemen. Good job, guys. They were out there. They did it. They tore everything out. When they show up, they don't care.
Yeah.
They're like,
Yeah,
we're
no.
ripping all the boards out, make sure there's no cinders. We're doing this, we're doing that. I'm just standing there going, okay, thanks.
With claims, what we try to tell our customers is something very simple you can help yourselves with, but people don't think about it. So if you come home tonight and your home is burned down, the very first thing the adjuster is going to ask is, what was in your home? And if you cannot come up with an inventory of what was in your home, and I had an 80-inch TV over here, and I had Amish furniture over here, the adjuster is going to have a hard time adjusting for your property loss. The simple way to get around that, just take pictures of everything in your home and keep it in the cloud. Keep it somewhere outside your home so that if you do have a claim, you can come and show the adjuster, here's where my electronics were. Here's where my furniture was. Here's everything I have. And it just eliminates that whole confusion.
A quick
Go
video
through and take a
walkthrough.
picture
Just
of
do a
every
video
room.
walkthrough,
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah, that is
Absolutely.
that's a very
Because
good
it
tip.
time stamps it and tells the adjuster, okay, effective in June this year, this is what you had in your home. This is what we need to do to replace it.
Yeah, that is a very good tip. Thank
Yeah,
you.
because right now I just have a list, like a running list on my computer of
Yeah.
anything valuable in the house.
Yeah, yeah. Or-
And even the list won't matter that much because there's no value attached to it.
Right, no,
There's
that's
no
what I'm saying.
invoices or
I
receipts
would
or
have
anything.
thought I was doing something right, but I'm doing it wrong. So
Just take
video
that walkthrough. Yep.
That's
Well,
a great
I'm the
tip.
queen of video walkthrough.
Yes, very much your specialty.
Yeah, nobody takes more video of houses than me.
And finally, I want to get into, this is something that is good for awareness for homeowners. That have bought their homes, say you bought your home in 2013 and you bought it for $200,000, and that was a thing in 2013. By the way,
We're not just making up
These
numbers.
are real numbers.
It was real. That's why people still think we're an inexpensive city.
Right.
We are not.
And you have your home insured at $200,000. Well, if your home were to burn down today, you will probably not replace that home for $200,000.
Right.
So you may be underinsured. So it's a good idea to take a look at that policy versus your values today and see if you are insured properly for the environment that we're in right now.
Absolutely. Yeah, it goes back to the supply chain issues that we were talking about. The cost of lumber is up 100%. The cost of electricity, copper, is up over 200%. Air conditioning units, if you can get your hands on them, are over $10,000 a unit. If you've got your homeowner's policy that was written prior to COVID and you haven't looked at the limits on it, chances are it's underinsured at this point. And the worst part about that is many insurance policies have clauses in them that say, as the homeowner, you agree to insure your home to at least 90% of its value. And if you don't insure it to 90% of its value, you get an additional punitive deduction on your claim.
Wow.
So again, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing as a homeowner. Nobody reads their policy. Not every policy has that clause in it, but many do. And so it's important to look at your current limits. Sometimes we've seen homes $200,000 and $300,000 underinsured, and the time to find out that information is not when you're staring at your foundation of your home that just burned.
Yeah, that would be a very heartbreaking scenario.
It's terrible. It's an awful scenario. And then the hard part is, and what I try to tell our customers is, to increase the limits on your home is pennies. Literally, it doesn't. You won't even notice it if it's in your escrow, if it's in your impound account. You won't even notice the change. We can increase a home by $100,000, and it may change $100 a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing.
And reading your policies. I mean, you can go through your policy and see, like, there's certain limits on jewelry. There's certain limits on, each item in your policy. And some people may have more of those items than they're insured for. And you can get those also, taken care of and increased, specifically on those, what are they called?
The scheduled items.
Scheduled items, yeah.
Yeah,
Something with items,
jewelry comes up all the time.
Yeah.
Jewelry is generally covered for any loss except theft.
Yeah.
And so what's the number one cause of theft with jewelry is theft.
Yeah.
So, but it's excluded anything over $1,500.
But you can get separate policies for those, like wedding ring. They have wedding ring insurance policies and separate items. But taking a look at that, because again, when there's an issue, that's not the time to figure out that you're underinsured.
It's too late then. It's too late.
Yeah. And I heard one time when I was very young that, like, you can never be overinsured. So
we get a lot of claims of rings, earrings disappearing on cruise ships.
Oh.
We see watches disappear off of your dresser from cleaning companies coming in.
So that's
Horrible.
theft.
It's theft.
Yeah,
So you don't pay out.
And it's excluded unless you have it specifically scheduled.
All right.
Yeah.
So schedule all your important stuff, people.
And that's the importance of having an agent. Just like in real estate, it's important to have a professional representing you, because as an agent, my fiduciary responsibility is to make sure that we sit down with our customers and go over these things and go over those options, so that way you have the ability to say yes or no. I'm comfortable with self-insuring, or I would like to have a policy to cover my Rolex, in which I will pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is, and just like in our industry, there's obviously ways of doing DIY insurance, or doing it yourself and being your own insurance agent online in the middle of the night. But that's really
Don't
not
be
ever
the for sale by
best.
owner of insurance.
I'm sure that's not the best way to do it, and the way that's going to protect you the most.
Well, we get asked that question a lot, and I'm sure in real estate it's asked a lot as well, is, what's the value of a professional agent, whether it's in real estate or insurance? We've got plenty of companies who sell insurance directly to the public without having what they sometimes call us as middlemen, right? We're not middlemen. We bring real value to our customers. Everybody at this table brings very much a real value to your customers, and you have your customers' best interests in mind before we have our interests in mind.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you
Facts.
do that to protect yourself?
Yeah. So are there any common mistakes that people could avoid, or helpful hints that you can give us in the not in the real estate world, in the insurance world?
Sure, yeah. So homeowners policies are tricky. They're not cookie cutter. They're very much custom to each insurance company, but I can tell you that no matter what insurance company you're with, specifically ask for backup and sewer drain coverage.
I was going to ask you about that, and I'm
we
so
know a
glad
guy.
you mentioned it. Backup and sewer drain coverage. I gotta write this down.
And it's,
She's like making notes. She's like, add to policy.
it's excluded on your homeowner's policy, but this is where you'll get mad.
You could go back and watch this episode, right?
Yeah, I'm writing it. I'm writing it down so I do not forget that is so important.
This is where you'll get mad.
Okay.
Yes, listen,
The
people.
endorsement for this coverage is about $15 a year. Wow. Here's another thing.
Sold.
Service-
Add to policy.
Here's another thing to add to your policy, to be smarter about it, because water damage is the number one source of claims.
Yes.
Sewer coverage in your front yard. So
Yes.
it's the main sewer line.
I didn't
okay?
even know that was an option to add in
It's
as
always
coverage.
excluded,
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
But you can buy back that coverage, okay? It'll give you about $15,000. So if you've ever had a mainline problem,
Yes.
I've
it's
seen
backing
them.
up sewage water in your front yard.
Jackhammer your
Right.
walkway.
Oh, it's even worse when it's like this 4-foot gutter
Yep.
in front of your house, in your house. It's
It's
a
an average
nightmare.
of a $10,000 loss.
Yeah.
And that endorsement is about $60 a year.
Well,
But
worth
it's always
it.
excluded
Everybody
and
should
folks
have
don't
this.
talk about it. So if you want a tip and a trick,
Yeah, I like
you
that
know,
one.
have those 2 endorsements on your policy always.
Yes.
And make sure that you finish your homesteading paperwork, because we have people who don't finish their homesteading paperwork.
Yeah.
And, you know, if you've got a problem, they can tap into the equity of your home.
Yep, and you know what? As the buyers that we work with, we do automatically send that out with instructions at
Yeah.
closing so that you don't forget to do it.
That's right. Happy closing. Homestead your house. We
Yes.
love you protected.
We
Yes.
see it all the time. People haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And it's so simple.
So simple.
And
It's a
it's a
form.
$42 fee to record it. I mean, you can pay a service to do it, but it's an easy form to fill out as long as you know how to get the form. So
Yes.
yeah.
So that is a good little gem. Thank
There
you,
you go.
Timothy.
Yeah, I
Thank
hope I
you
can add a
very
little
much.
value there for you guys.
I was showing homes yesterday, and one of the homes next door to the home I was showing was had their whole front yard jackhammered up, and I was like, ew, I'm sorry for them.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
It's a real problem, and we have aging infrastructure in this town.
of course.
So any water main that is 20 years old or older, we see a lot of times roots growing in to the pipes. They literally bust up the connections, and that's where you have the problem.
Yeah. Yep, that is an issue here. So, Timothy,
Yes, ma'am.
how do people reach you if they want to talk insurance?
Yeah, I appreciate that. I have an agency on Eastern and Windmill here in Las Vegas, just south of the airport. 702-998-4545 is our phone number. We also do business insurance. We do key man. We do life insurance, and obviously homeowners insurance. We got a team dedicated to realtors. And we are very quick in getting evidence of insurance out because we know the clock is ticking for
Awesome.
everybody on the close
We
of
love
escrow.
that.
So
We love that. And that's a
that.
great resource. We have a lot of realtors who watch the show.
Yeah.
a lot of the times we have realtors who do commercial real estate, and they have even a harder time getting coverage for insurance right now. And I've got a whole department that does nothing but commercial.
Fabulous.
Excellent.
Well, definitely reach out to Timothy if you have needs, you have questions, you want to get properly insured.
Right.
Timothy can help
And
you
all
out.
of those little loopholes to make sure that you are overinsured, super covered. In chaos, you will not be going, what? I'm not going to get paid?
Yeah.
You will be protected.
Absolutely. And Tiana, when people need to get a home to insure,
Hey, if you need to purchase a property to insure, you can give me a call or shoot me a text, 702-379-9948. And likewise, you are always available to help people. How do people get a hold of you, Trish?
702-308-2878. You can call or text me anytime. Let's keep it during the day hours.
She's like, not anytime.
Not in the middle of the night.
I like 8:30 to 4:30.
Go ahead. My phone will be off, but
She's like, do not disturb.
I'll respond in the morning.
She will too.
But thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you're watching the show, please like, comment, subscribe, download, tell your friends about us. We are on Instagram now at realtycheck.vegas, which
Yay.
is the same as our website name. So follow us, and you can comment there and ask us questions. We'd love to answer them on the show.
Yep, that's one of the beauties of being part of this community and having this outlet is that we really get to connect with everybody out there. So thanks, Vegas.
Thanks, Vegas. See you next week.
Have a good one. Bye.